everybody. Welcome to our fourth segment of Women's Wellness in Fort Lee. Today, we're going to focus on walking for wellness. Research has shown walking a few times a week increases longevity, helps you sleep better, helps you lose weight, and decreases anxiety. Today, I have with me a personal trainer from town, Karen Rudiger, inventor of the Rudiger method, who's going to give us some tips on correct form while you're walking and how to breathe correctly. Breathing is so important. And here is Karen.
I have 44 years of experience in training people, and we're going to make things as simple as we can and as fun as we can so that we can all go out and just enjoy a walk. To build strength and flexibility in your body and endurance, everything takes time, and incrementally, little by little, we keep making our corrections and we keep getting better as we go out. We're going to touch on a couple steps. The first step we're going to work on is keeping our feet on 12 o'clock. And we're going to also work with our breathing, how to hold your abdominal muscle and stack your posture up. And the third thing we're going to work on is the rhythm breathing, is finding your rhythm. So keeping our feet on 12 o'clock, they're facing straight forward. And when we walk, we want to learn how to walk and place down into a full foot. I know there's a lot of walking form out there that teaches walking heel toe, but that can throw your balance off. So I'm going to teach you something new today, and we're going to break this down into a couple simple steps. So when we're walking, we want to just have the arms are going to swing naturally and freely along with the body, and we take a step and we're walking and our feet are on 12 o'clock. Now we take it along the side, walking backwards. Watch how the feet have to plant. My chin is up, I'm looking straight ahead, posture is stacked. I place the ball of my foot down, I step into a full foot, balls, ball, 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 ball. Learning to walk backwards will actually help you stack your posture up so that you can walk better when you move forward. And if you don't trust your feet underneath you, you need to learn to trust your feet underneath you so you don't have to look down and you can keep your posture up and stack. All right, so we're going to work with how to breathe when you walk. And in the breathing exercise when you're walking is that we want to find your rhythm. To find your rhythm, breathe in on 4 footsteps. So we're going to try to start with a 4 rhythm count, which is walking, breathing in on 4 footsteps and then out on 4 footsteps. And if that's difficult for Isla, then we're going to switch it up. Maybe breathe in on 3 footsteps and out on 3. And if it's really difficult, then it's in on 2, out on 2. Tell me, what's your experience? How did it feel? Was it easy? Was it hard?
It was easy.
It was easy. We don't want the stomach moving in and out when you're breathing. We want to see the rib cage expand so that you can get a fuller lung expansion. The other thing we're going to work with is breathing from the nose. So we use our upper respiratory system to filter the air, and when we exhale the air, especially wearing these masks, when we exhale the air through the nose, in the lower sinus cavity, the CO2 turns into NO, nitrous oxide, which is 100 times higher than you need to fight off bacteria, funguses, and viruses. And this was discovered back in 1997 by a group of scientists. So using your nose to breathe is a real important thing. So we're not going to use our mouth as a vent. We're only going to be using our nose. And we're going to breathe as a rhythm through the nose. And this will also help cool you off as well with the heat coming. So on the inhale, breathe in, Isla. And you can see her as she breathes in deeper, the chest starts to rise. Now when you breathe out, just hold your posture stacked up, and then the belly will naturally start to go back. When we take the breath in, we want to set up the abdominal muscle by pulling the belly button in, so that we get more movement with the rib cage. Just stick your stomach out. I'll do it with you, in fact. We'll just stick our stomach out as big as we can, right? And look what it does to our posture. And now let's pull our bellies in. There we go. That's how we want to walk. That's simple. We're going to hold the tongue depressed up against the roof of the mouth. And so you suck your tongue like you're holding a little piece of candy inside your mouth. So as you're breathing in, that airlock is held there, and then when you breathe out, the air also goes out through the nose. So none of this venting, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. That's going to drop your oxygen. We want to bring it up, so we're going to breathe in through the nose, out through the nose.
Thank you, Karen. I think she's given us some great tips. We're planning on having a women's walking group, probably here at Constitution Park. Please email me and we'll figure out a day and a time, and I think it'll be great if we all walk together. It'll be healthy, we'll talk, and we're going to have Karen with us, making sure that we walk and breathe correctly. Next month in May, we're going to have Healthy Cooking by Maria Nalbandian Cafasso. So please tune in. Next month, we have a great segment. Thank you. Tune in. Next month, we have a great segment. Thank you. Next month, we have
Thank you, Karen. I just read a longevity book by Dr. Sanjay Gupta, and there's a big chapter that says one of the keys is walking with friends. Tell me, is that really a key to longevity, walking with friends?
I don't know the exact evidence on that, but having a social life and being able to get out and to be with people, definitely. I mean, that's why most people join gyms and everything, is to have a social atmosphere that's healthy and being with other people. But if you don't have a friend to walk with, you should still get out on your own and walk too.
I'm never motivated unless I have a friend, which is terrible, which is one of the reasons I want to do this walking group with women, because I think if we have each other, we'll be more motivated to walk.
I would agree with that too, and get people started and jumpstart in their walking form would be great.
I have a question. I've been thinking about the breathing. Everything I read says breathe in through your nose and out through, exhale through the mouth and the belly. But your method says absolutely not.
No, stay in the nose. Learn how to use your upper respiratory system, and you can even search online, and you can look, and you could research on your own how important it is to nose breathe. I mean, we're human, we nose breathe. And becoming a mouth breather is going to lower your oxygen level while you're walking. There's so many benefits by learning how to use your nose. And it'll keep your oxygen uptake higher by having the CO2 leave the nose. The switch is inside your sinuses. That's going to turn the switch on for oxygen uptake. And then also, your nose also produces NO, nitrous oxide, and that was discovered by a group of scientists back in 1997, and they got the Nobel Prize for it in 1998. So if you look up nitrous oxide, you can read a little bit more about that, and I'm sure there's plenty of YouTube videos today through COVID that are also promoting nose breathing as well. So it's been long overdue.
So if I'm out walking for an hour, I could breathe in through the nose and out through the nose for one whole hour?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Really?
If you have like deviated septum or anything like that, you can still learn to breathe in and out through your nose. If you have real structural problems, well, there's ways to have those things corrected with a doctor. But the nostrils are muscles too, and so you can open your nostrils up while you're breathing.
Okay.
And so the more you breathe from your nose, you're going to build those muscles in your face as well to open up your nostrils and get some more airflow going through, and it'll pressurize the air better for your lungs. And another thing that you brought up was about the diaphragm breathing.
Right.
And there's so much lessons out there that are telling people to push their stomach out when they breathe in. I don't agree with that at all, because that's going to pull your posture down, and we want to pick the posture up. The more stacked your posture is when you breathe, you can diaphragm breathe, but you don't need to use your belly like a bellow in order to do that. Your diaphragm starts at about the 5th rib down, and on your sternum you'll have 7 ribs. So it starts quite high, but it's kind of like a little hoodie inside your body. It wraps around into the back of your spine and down fairly low. So as you're breathing in, the diaphragm is going to come down and it's going to push toward your abdominal wall. So if you keep this container small in here, it's still going to come down and you can keep your chest up. And I can take a deep breath in, and I'm not chest breathing. What you'll hear is I'm breathing very deeply, and I slow my breath down while I walk. So when we got into the rhythm, we were working with, say, breathe in on 4 footsteps and out on 4 footsteps.
Right.
And it gets more advanced than that. That's just a little beginner start.
I thought beginner was 2 and 2.
Well,
for
2
me.
and 2. Well, if you have allergies, okay,
Which I
you
do.
Then breathing in on 2 and out on 2 will get you started. And then
Okay.
as you get stronger with your breath and keeping the airflow move, then you can start to build it up. Breathe in on 3, out on 3, learning how to sustain your breath, learning how to slow it down while you're walking.
I see. Thank you. We have a question. Susan in Fort Lee asks, how many days a week do you have to walk for weight loss?
Well, we know that sedentary lifestyle and sitting home and eating and not doing anything is going to cause muscle atrophy and a whole lot of problems.
And we've all been sitting for 13 months.
Well, I would say, yeah, people have been sitting, but I've also seen more people out walking in Fort Lee during COVID than I've ever seen.
That's true.
I have a dog and I go out for a walk and I see so many more people out walking, and that makes me happy because I never used to see anybody out walking. So people have been getting out to walk and have been taking an opportunity to do that, and that's great.
Good. Do we have any other questions? How do you explain your feet at 12 o'clock? Someone doesn't understand 12 o'clock feet.
Okay. When you watch people walk, you might see maybe they have one foot slightly turned out and then the other foot could be straight. You'll have some people with their feet are very rotated out. You may see a pigeon toe foot and one straight foot. Whenever you see this, there's things in the body mechanically that need to be corrected. And so if you just slowly go out there and you become aware of how your feet are facing and try to get them on 12 o'clock as best as you can. If your deviation is very open and out, then you can only correct it little by little over time. And those corrections come like in building strength in your hips, maybe strength in your feet, foot exercises, knee exercises, because the body starts to rotate and go off of balance. And so if you get out and you walk and you step into a full foot, instead not heavy heel toe, because that's going to cause more rotation in the hip and other problems of over swinging the leg forward. What we want to do is we want to step down into a full foot, so we use the full foot.
Right flat foot?
Well, as you come down, you want to feel the shock of the foot coming down, where you're absorbing it through the arch of the foot, and then you're rolling off the balls of the feet. And you see that inside the demonstration in the video, is walking backwards, right? It keeps your whole body all stacked up, and when you walk backwards, you're in the ball of your foot, and then you have to step in the arch, otherwise you're going to lose your balance. It's not possible to walk backwards on your heels.
Right.
You need to walk. You need to walk on the arches of your feet and then push off. So it's in the reverse of walking backwards. Did I answer your question?
Yeah. Robin from Fort Lee wants to know, how do you determine the proper pace for walking?
Well, that's a good one. First, it's kind of feeling your stride out and what your natural stride would be. Some people overwork their stride and they're swinging their leg out, and that's what gets into this heel-toe walking. And what we want to do is we want to keep the feet always balanced underneath you. So stride really belongs to running, because we're pushing off and we're leaping into the air. We want to do with walking, think of it more like a gait. It depends on your bone structure. So to walk faster, you just have to be more lively. Your feet have to move a little quicker. The stride doesn't really lengthen that much. So you have to get the feel where it is, and then find a pace where you're comfortable breathing, that you can keep your rhythm going inside your nose and not overwork it.
Okay. Another question. Does it strengthen your bones to walk?
Any exercise is going to help maintain your bone structure for sure. Not doing anything is going to weaken your muscular system, and the weaker your muscles are, and your muscles attach to connective tissue and to bone. And so if you're not using your muscles and your muscles aren't working and tugging and pulling on your bones are going to get weaker over time. And it's been proven scientifically that exercise does help build bone density in the body. The loss of it happens from inactivity.
What about using weights?
I say learn how to bear your own weight and balance first.
Okay.
I've seen people go out and walk with ankle weights and hand weights
Right.
and things like that. And that's getting a little more advanced. Let's make sure your stride is right first, your arm swing is right, that you're able to control your breath and other things and carry your own body weight. And then later on down the road, if you wanted to walk with some extra weight, I like a vest, a weighted vest to wear, because it's not hanging on your lower limbs or in your hands. Mm-hmm. And then you can learn to carry a little heavier weight in through your torso, but it's evenly distributed that way.
Okay, what is the best time of day to go for a walk? Does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter. Whatever your favorite time of day is, that's what I would say. Some people are morning people, and the only time they can fit it in is maybe before work. Others get out and take their walk during the day on a break. You can take it after work, but try to get some kind of consistency. Find a time of day that you can commit to doing your walk, and get out every day and walk. At least start with 15 minutes.
Right.
So if you walk about 7.5 minutes away from your home and then turn around and come back, and at least you got your 15 minutes in every day, and that's a great start. And then you can build it up over time.
That's easy. 7.5 minutes each way.
There's no excuse not to get out and do a walk.
Absolutely.
There's no excuse. And we would like to see you build that up. But inside 15 minutes, you could learn to become more lively, a little bit quicker, challenge your rhythm breathing, learn how to maybe walk and say take 8 footsteps inhaling, and then 8 steps exhaling. You can start to build it up and challenge yourself, and you're going to use a lot more muscle doing that. Another
Is
question?
walking as good as running?
They're both different. I've taken some runners and I've stripped them down and had them go into walking first in order to correct their strides for running. Because if you can't walk with your feet straight and you're running with your feet turned out, you're going to put a lot more stress on your body and a lot more wear and tear into your hips, your knees, your back. So learning good form is the most important thing. They're different.
And then there's a whole other world of squats and things that I do all wrong.
Well, we can cover that in another time. But squats are a very important exercise that we should be able to maintain throughout our whole life. Heel to butt squats and stand up just like a toddler. But that's
what about
building strength and
hamstring
flexibility.
stretches? Are they important to do before and after you walk?
Okay, that question's a little loaded because I have a slightly different method for that. I am a big believer in flexibility and strength both being worked together. To stretch and not do your strength work can cause muscle atrophy. So you need to do the strength work along with any stretching. And that's like a whole nother level that I would take you on. I believe in building enough strength to support your flexibility. Some people are quite flexible, but they're not strong, and that can be dangerous. And then other people are lack their flexibility in their body, and they do need to work on it. They do need to work on the edge and learn those techniques. But that's a little hard to do here sitting in a chair because it's going to take a demonstration.
And you and I walked Constitution Park, and we stopped at all the stations and did the workouts. and they were pretty challenging.
Oh yeah.
Because you
Well,
made
they're
me
fun.
do it right.
Yeah. Well, we changed the posture a little bit because you'll notice in the illustrations that the postures are very slouched and they're not really demonstrating the exercises properly. And that the image, to have a good image inside your mind, what is an image of fitness? Really, if you look toward a more athletic body, somebody who's upright, has a good stature within their body, you'll see the postures up, and you want to imitate and copy that, and keep trying to pick yourself up. And I understand it's hard to pick yourself up if you have any extra weight or anything on your body, and you might have to lose it. But little by little, incrementally, you can keep on working on building that up. Like in the rhythm breathing, I was describing how to pull your abs in on the inhale. Now, when I breathe, I'm still getting deep diaphragm breathing, but I don't need to push my stomach out in order to use my diaphragm. I can hold this in, and my rib cage elevates and moves. You could feel it in my back when I breathe in, and it's going up the elevator. Oh, my ribs up the spine a little bit, and with that expansion, like your ribs are kind of like little handles to a bucket. So it's gonna help pull that diaphragm down to fill your lungs up when your rib cage is functioning right. So by pulling your abs in on the inhale, and then on the exhale, just focus on keeping your posture up and just keep your abs in the whole time. As you get the container smaller in your waist, your body's gonna be so much stronger because you're gonna be able to use all those muscles. As you can see in the elderly, the rib cage starts to drop and it starts to sink in with the posture, and they're not able to use any of their intercostal muscles in the rib cage. So we want to keep that rib cage up. So I really believe that the diaphragm is dependent on a functioning rib cage. And then that gets into your spinal column and your posture and correcting everything.
Can anybody walk?
If you have 2 legs and feet, yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we can all go out for a walk. And taking it in shorter distances when there's mechanical problems and just doing a little bit at a time. You have to listen to your body. If you have injury, maybe you can just walk a little bit down your hallway and back, and that's it. But if you keep getting up and doing that as often as you can throughout the day, get up and walk, you'll start to build that up, and it will start to expand itself so that you can get yourself back outside.
One last question. Is there one last question out there? I guess that's it. Karen, thank you so much for your advice, for your knowledge, and I can't wait to start walking with you.
Okay, great. We'll go out tomorrow.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay, thank you. Bye.